girl is the nastiest skank I've ever met.
Okay everyone, welcome back to my channel. You already know, if you've been here for a bit, we talk a lot about unhealthy relationships, toxic relationships. Do you remember my videos on who the F did I almost marry and who the F did I start dating? Well, today we are expanding that universe because I am going to be telling you guys about a story on TikTok that I found that is titled, Who the F's Family Did I Almost Marry Into? Yep. This time, the partner isn't the problem, it's the mother-in-law. And no, we're not talking about Dorothy Jean this time. If you know, you know. This one is different. She managed to make her soon-to-be daughter-in-law's pregnancy a complete nightmare and then went online trash-talking her recently, and the creator who we're going to be talking about had enough and is basically spilling all the drama for everyone to hear. So yeah, buckle up because this one is messy. And honestly, it's the perfect addition to the whole Who the F Did I Get Involved With playlist that I need to make for my channel, because now I think we're on video 3 in this universe? I don't know. Let's just get right into it. So there's this TikTok creator named Alexis who recently dropped a little teaser saying that she might need to make a 6-part series called Who the F's Family Did I Almost Marry Into? And not long after posting that, she delivered. She posted part 1 of the series, and in just a day, it blew up to over 1 million views. And to keep this video from running too long, I'm going to show you some of the key parts from her videos and summarize the rest. So she starts off in the very first video by revealing that she had just found out that her soon-to-be mother-in-law had been publicly mocking and trashing her all over social media. Alexis compared it to feeling like she was back in middle school getting bullied, but instead of a classmate this time, instead of an 11-year-old girl, it's a 60-plus-something-year-old woman. And she also makes it pretty clear that her and her fiance Nate are still very much together, though their relationship did move fast. They've been together for a few years now. But when they started dating in whatever year, I don't know if it was 2022, it was in February of that year, and by that July, she had found out that she was pregnant. And at that point, she had never met Nate's family because their relationship, again, was a whirlwind. It happened so quickly. And this is the point where she gets into her very first interaction with her, at the time, boyfriend's mother. And let's just say that red flags were waving from the start.
I wanted to know the gender of my baby. Like, the doctor offered me the early whatever testing, the blood test to find out the gender, and I was like, oh heck yeah. So we did that. My mom was the keeper of the gender. I wanted to have kind of like a small gender reveal, like an intimate kind of situation with a cake. You got it. And so Nate told his family, you know, like, we're having the gender reveal here, if you guys could make it, you know, like, whatever. And like, yes, it was very fast paced, like, oh, we're doing this right now. But his mom had kind of a fit, which caused like kind of us to have a very first fight, which was because of his mom. Because she wanted to be there. She didn't want to FaceTime in. She didn't want to travel. So she pitched a fit. And she didn't want to see it on social media or anything. So we continued with the gender reveal. I just blocked them on everything so they couldn't see me post. Because I'm like, this is my baby. Like, I'm going to post. So kind of just like ruining the moment for us in our excitement. So then we do the gender reveal with my family and like family friends. Then we travel to where they were living at the time so we can have a gender reveal there with his family. It's kind of just like the first thing that rubbed me the wrong way is pitching a fit about something that's supposed to be about me and my baby. Anyways, we get there, we do the gender reveal, we do cannons. She was adamant that she also needed a cannon, so we were on the deck. Him, me, Nate, his mom, and his stepdad did the cannons together. It was kind of like one of those awkward gender reveal videos that you watch, but you know, nothing big, just, you know, it's like things just kind of like build up until you hit a point. So there's the first thing. Then the next thing that happened that really started rubbing me the wrong way is I had my baby shower in February because Penelope's born in March. So I had my baby shower in February. I think I started sending out invitations in December. And so at this point I was very nice. I had emailed, or I texted her asking, you know, like, give me a list of people you want me to send invitations to. I'll send them to them, you know. So she sent me this list, and I sat and I wrote out every single invitation to every single person, sent them in the mail. They were in the process of moving states. They were moving from one state to another state. So they sent me their new address that they were not currently residing in to send the invitation to. I didn't know that they were like not going to be living in the home when I sent the invitation. I just sent it because that's the address that I was given, along with the list of all the other people. So me and Nate are at the movies before Penelope is born, and we get this kind of like nasty text, basically accusing me of not sending her an invitation to my baby shower because they were still residing in the house that they had been residing in versus the house that I sent the invitation to, because that was the address I was given. So then I was accused of not sending an invitation to his mom, even though I sent one to everybody else in the family. The aunt got it, everybody else got it. She didn't. So it was like kind of a nasty, just like, well, I didn't get one. And then Nate was like, well, we can resend you one, like it must got lost in the mail, you know, like we didn't know that she wasn't living in the home at the time, so obviously the mail's not going to get delivered there. And it was just like, whatever, with an eye roll. Like, something that kind of rubs you the wrong way when you're pregnant. I feel like it would rub anybody the wrong way, but especially when you're pregnant, you're kind of like, seriously, like, why would I not send you an invitation? Then the last thing that I'm going to talk about in this video is my baby shower. So my baby shower, like, I don't have that many friends. I don't know that many people. It wasn't a lot of people. It was mainly my family, my friends, coworkers, and then his mom and his aunt came. So we're at my baby shower, which is at my mom's house that she's hosting the baby shower at. And his mom walks in, and she looks at my mom, and she goes, "Oh, you're the other grandma?" Mind you, my mom is my BFF. Like, she's not the other grandma. She is the Mimi, like, you know, so. Anyway, so we go in with my baby shower, and Nate was there because I wanted him to be involved. She has brought, like, a bunch of gifts, but they're not, like, gifts for Penelope. They're, like, hand-me-down gifts, which, not complaining, I just feel like it could have been done in a more intimate setting. Like, me and my mom went through my old baby clothes one-on-one, and she, like, let me have whatever I wanted, told me stories about it, you know. And so she brought all these blankets, all these things from great-great-great-grandma, great-great-great-uncle, and aunt, and whatever, and she hand-wrote each card. So she made Nathan sit and read each handwritten card and open each present that was a hand-me-down from the family, which might not sound like a big deal to you, but, like, after the baby shower, my friends, my coworkers, my family were like, what the hell was that? Like, they were like, that was kind of weird, don't you think? Like, and I thought it was weird too. It was just another way to circle back the attention onto her.
So the reaction to her first video was pretty much all the same. Comment after comment was basically telling her, run. People were pointing out that if her husband isn't willing to set boundaries, that this toxic family situation is never going to go away. But at this point, Alexis uploads part 2, and she says at this point in the story is where things really went downhill, and what she refers to it as enemy territory.
So here's where we really start getting into enemy territory, because we go there. We go to their house with our daughter. 2-ish months, my brain is like glitching. 2-ish months, 2.5 months. So she is still little. I am in the pit of postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety. We get there, and this was the day that we got there. Penelope was going through a rough patch. We were in the transition of breastfeeding, formula feeding, trying to figure out what was going on. She was a major FOMO baby. She didn't sleep, nothing. She just cried a lot. So we're there, and Nate has her. He's trying to calm her down. I take her. I'm walking around the kitchen, walking around the living room, trying to calm her down. She's screaming, okay? This woman, she comes. I don't remember what she said. Just, oh, you need work, blah, 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 blah. Grabs her out of my arms, takes her to another room, closes the door behind her, all while she's still screaming. So she's ripped my baby out of my arms, taken her to another room, and closed the door behind her. So I don't know how, mind you, this is my 3rd or 4th time meeting this woman, so I still don't know her that well. Postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, postpartum period. And she takes my baby out of my arms and goes to another room. Now, still to this day, this is the biggest thing that has irked me. Everybody told me, Alexis, you're being so dramatic. Alexis, it's not that big of a deal, Alexis. It's fine. No, listen, if you're a new mom, if you're a mom, period, someone takes your crying baby out of your arms and goes to another room, very hostile, might I add, leaves you crying while you listen to your baby cry. You're texting your mom's like, I'm booking you an airplane ticket to come home right now. I don't feel like this is a bad thing to be holding a grudge over, because it is not an appropriate response. Now at this point, they have also kissed Penelope, and that was our huge thing. We asked, please do not kiss our daughter. We do not know where your mouth has been. We do not know if you are sick. We do not know this. We do not know that. She is not fully vaccinated. Please do not kiss our baby. So not only have they kissed her, she's been ripped out of my arms and taken to another room with the door closed.
And honestly, I can't blame her for being upset. I mean, snatching someone's baby right out of their arms and walking away and shutting the door with that baby. Yeah, I don't care who you are. That's definitely crossing a line, especially with a new mother. But now we're at part 3, where Alexis picks up right after the moment her mother-in-law snatched the baby out of her arms. And from there, she dives into the rest of what turned out to be a nightmare trip for her, because apparently the mother-in-law doesn't like to travel, which means Alexis and her husband are always the one making the trip to her.
We went there again. This time we were going to visit them and then go to Disneyland. That's 2 separate states. We were going to drive to them and then drive to Disneyland. This time we were going to also see the other family. So Penelope is about 6 months now and she has stranger danger, and she doesn't know who the hell these people are. She barely sees them. So I make him text her and tell her, like, hey, can we please not take Penelope out of our arms? She has stranger danger, like, she doesn't really know who you guys are. She's not really familiar with you. So we barely get in the door and she has already taken Penelope out of our arms again. So clearly the boundaries are just, nobody listens to them. I don't know about you, but people flopping big fat kisses on my baby's face or mouth just is means to also make me uncomfortable when I've already asked, hey, can you not kiss my baby? So there's 2 things that have happened. The rest of the trip was fine. It's time to start planning for Penelope's first birthday. So plan for her birthday. March comes around. I ask Nate, like, hey, can you just please ask your mom again to not take Penelope out of people's arms while she's here and just kind of cool it. She's a very high energy lady and very much so likes attention to be all on her. Nate texts her the day before Penelope's birthday party, and she blows up, crying, sobbing that her heart is so hurt because we asked her to not take our daughter out of people's arms, and she just loves her so much, which how can you love someone when you rarely come to visit them? But so she comes to the birthday party. He just sits on the couch the whole time. She doesn't try to talk to anybody. She just pouts the whole time. And everybody noticed that because it was a huge difference from my baby shower to Penelope's birthday. So she just kind of sat there and pouted the whole time. Penelope's actual birthday comes around, and I had family texting from Colorado, calling from Colorado, my brother who is at college FaceTiming me to tell Penelope happy birthday. Radio silence from his mom. Radio silence, not a happy birthday for our daughter, who she loves so much because she's her grandbaby. She loves her so much. So nothing on her birthday, and she texted Nate the next day saying, please call me, my heart hurts so bad. And then she cried on the phone about how upset she was that she couldn't hold Penelope, which nobody said she couldn't hold her. We said she couldn't take her out of people's arms, but just that rubbed me the very wrong way. If you love your granddaughter so much, why did you not even call her to say happy birthday, even if your feelings are hurt? Then I posted a whole carousel of photos on Facebook from Penelope's first birthday, just like that I was in with people, pictures of the setup and everything, and then she comments under my picture of a photo of her with Penelope instead of making her own post. So I just deleted it because that's just another way to make everything about you. So I just deleted it. And then that was rude of me. That was evil of me. I'm the Joker for doing that. So I posted a video, God forbid a girl, trend. That was a while ago. So I made a video kind of making light of my family drama because I have drama with my aunt. And if you scroll down and you watch my candy salad video I did with my best friend, you'll literally see me talking about the text exchange between me and my aunt, making light of it. Because it's like a very heavy conversation with her, like, oh, why don't you just forgive her? And it was making light of that. Like, God forbid a girl doesn't want to be called not saying happy or not saying thank you when your arch nemesis texts you happy birthday, that was about my family. However, since everything has to be about this lady, we took the wrong context of it, and she sent her best friend to comment on my video. Yes, that would be the Heidi that I made a video addressing that everybody ate up a while ago when I was student teaching, the morning before I had to go into student teaching. So basically I post this video, and then later I get a comment from this lady, and it's like, oh, grow up already. I knew. I went and looked at the following, and I knew. So I sent it to Nate. He's like, yeah, that's my mom's best friend. So comment back, or I make a video response, and Nate texts his mom, and he's like, what the hell are you doing? And she's like, Lexi needs to take some accountability for her actions and not post her life all over social media. And I can't control what my friends say, even though this lady did not follow me. I have never seen this lady before in my life, so I know that she was sent to my page to comment on that video because that didn't just randomly appear on her For You page after me posting for months and nothing. Just that relationship because I was like, absolutely not. You are not going to send your 60-year-old friend to cyberbully me on the internet and then say Lexi needs to take some accountability. I can't control what my friends say. And then the lady sat in my comment section on the next video I posted when people were defending me, commenting back to each of them. Woman sent her friend to publicly harass me on social media for posting a video that was not even about them, and if you took it that it was about you, then clearly you know you did something wrong.
And at this point, from what I was reading at least, the comments still, for the most part, all seem to be on Alexis's side. They agree. There's no problem putting boundaries in place. If somebody is going to disrespect those boundaries, then something needs to be done. Something needs to be said. But there were some people questioning her story. One person said, I think your feelings are valid, but I also think that maybe she rubbed you the wrong way. And now anything she does, you will take as hostile or negative, which is totally valid. But hopefully, if she really isn't trying to be malicious, you can give her a little grace and y'all can learn to have a loving relationship. And Alexis didn't directly respond to that comment, but she indirectly did by hearting a comment that said, not respecting boundaries is malicious. Someone else said, wait, why couldn't she comment under a photo with P? Did she comment something mean? Someone replied by saying they were confused as well because they had family who would reply to post all the time on Facebook with pictures as the response. Another commenter said that it's because there is a pattern of behavior where the narcissistic grandmother makes everything about herself. And at this point in the series, we haven't really heard much about Nate. He hasn't been in any of the videos. At one point, Alexis did like a comment that said that Nate isn't exactly the problem, but he is enabling his mom. But Alexis ended up finally making a whole video dedicated to basically saying, leave Nate alone, he's not the problem.
Okay, I just woke up to those videos going like, crazy. I know that's like the typical response, and I was not expecting that with my 300 views I usually get. So, with that being said, because I am putting my opinion on the internet, you are also allowed to comment your opinion, but it does not open the door to be mean and to bully people online, regardless of who's involved in the situation. Secondly, I am saying me a lot in the stories because it is my story about me and what's going on. So, also that. Third of all, this is also the typical response. My fiance and I are very happy. He has set clear boundaries. We have gone no contact. The whole thing hasn't even been posted, but he is an amazing person. He is on the birth certificate. My daughter loves her dad so very much. And he is not the problem. I didn't include his parts of setting the boundaries in the story because, like I said, it's my story, and even though he was telling these boundaries, they were also not being listened to. So, also, I did not leave my daughter crying in the room. We went and got her. Like, she did not just sit in the room crying with the mother-in-law. We went and we got her from the bedroom and was like, this is literally not okay, you never do this, you know, like. So I did not sit outside of the room crying. That was a joke. So, here it is, the longly awaited video. Everybody's still going to bash my fiance, I know you are. He has also tried to set the boundaries, and since then we have gone no contact with the family. So, he's not a bad guy.
But moving into the next part of the story, Alexa said that she did end up blocking her mother-in-law on social media for the simple reason that if you're going to disrespect her, then you're not going to have access to her child because her child is 50% her, 50% her husband. You have to be respectful if you want to be in the kid's life. She also shared that she does still keep in touch with someone inside the family, a woman she's had a good relationship with since the beginning. Alexis doesn't name her, but she does clarify that this person isn't blood related, that she married into the family, which basically makes her the go-to source for any insider scoop that Alexis wouldn't get otherwise. And that's exactly what happened recently, what kind of got everything stirred up with her to make these videos in the first place. This woman texted her and said, did you see what was posted on Facebook? And Alexis, of course, didn't because she had blocked her mother-in-law, but that's where we're at.
She has to deal with this lady's sister, so they're basically the same person. But she texted me a couple days ago and she said that someone in the family says that she's acting like me and that they don't trust me. So I'm just kind of like, well, that's really weird, but you know, whatever. Like, we share experiences, we talk, we're just girls, we're talking. I tell Nate and he's kind of like, that's really weird, like I might call someone else to get a neutral, you know, like party opinion on this, and you know, so whatever. I can sit here as much as I want and tell you and preach. It doesn't matter what people think of you. It doesn't matter what people think of you. But to me, it does matter what people think about me. And if you say that you don't care what people think about you, you are lying. So I've only met these people in this family, most of them, one time. And that's at the gender reveal. So to know that my character is being questioned, one person's opinion, one person's side of the story, you know, one person that likes to play the victim, have the victim mentality 24/7, making these people form an opinion about my character, it does genuinely hurt me, and it does make me upset, because I don't think I'm a bad person. I think I'm a new mom that has boundaries set in place, reasonable boundaries that I don't want to be broken, and I don't like being disrespected. And if you disrespect me, you're not seeing my daughter at the end of the day, and I don't think that is an unreasonable thing to say, and I shouldn't even be having to sit here and basically plead my case. So basically the last thing that has happened, the person that I have been messaging, they're like, hey, did you see? See what? She has posted on her story, Nate's mom, she has posted on her story with her sister, Nate's aunt, openly mocking me and this other girl that I'm talking to. Now, this other girl, incredible mom, amazing, sets reasonable boundaries, nothing wrong with having boundaries as a mom. So these two have taken it up to social media, which, same. Okay, I'm trying to cover the names so that, there we go. Okay, so it says boundaries set, gossip, gossip, gossip. And they are whispering to each other and laughing like it's some funny joke. So clearly that's my mother-in-law and then the girl I'm talking to, her mother-in-law, sisters. They're openly mocking us. They have posted it on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I have them blocked. I blocked all of the family. Nate saw it and sent it to her, and then she messaged me. Openly mocked two new moms on social media who have set reasonable boundaries. They think it's funny to bash me to family, making everybody question my character when they don't even know me, just because I have set reasonable boundaries and I took away access to my child because those boundaries were not respected. I think it's kind of cool to, you know, post on social media at 6 years old and openly mock two girls. But don't worry, because they deleted it and they were just having fun. It's not a big deal. They were just having fun last night, so they decided to post it, but now they deleted it. So everything's okay because they took it down. So now we should forgive them because they deleted it. They were just having fun.
And from what I've seen, most people in the comments are still siding with Alexis, but apparently not everyone. She actually had to make a video explaining that TikTok flagged her comment section for a high level of bullying, so much so that TikTok turned on its anti-bullying feature. And according to Alexis, people weren't just disagreeing with her, they were cutting her down for her looks and calling her the narcissistic one. And she actually brought Nate in to kind of shut that rumor down.
So when you talk about Penelope to your coworkers, do you say our baby or do you say your baby? You say my baby.
I say my baby.
How? Interesting.
She's also mentioned that she already has another part filmed, but she isn't sure if she's even going to post it because of how nasty the comments have been. But if she does, I will add that video right here. But what do you think? Like I said, the majority of the comments, from what I'm seeing at least, are in agreement with Alexis. Still, there are a few people who feel she pushed her mother-in-law away. One comment said, "I'm so tired of this generation pushing their village away," and then blaming that village.
Okay, I just wanted to address a lot of people that are commenting stuff like this. Like your village, or like I was excluding her. I was very much so not excluding her. She was very involved in my pregnancy since the beginning, hence traveling to her for the gender reveal, inviting her to the baby shower, inviting her to birthday parties. The expectation was just that we always traveled there. So I feel like it's hard to have a village when you have to travel to them. Do you know how hard it is to pack up all your stuff for a 2-month-old baby and go somewhere? Or a child, period?
That comment has since been deleted, but everyone basically said that that commenter is probably the toxic person in their own family. But I think that's where we're going to wrap up this video, this story. I would love to hear your thoughts on all of this, what you think about it. And if you have any of your own wild mother-in-law stories, feel free to share them down below. This is definitely a safe place if you need to vent. And hey, if you have an amazing mother-in-law and you have a great story, I would love to hear that too, because that's really awesome if you do. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed. I do videos like these all the time where I recap, TikTok stories that people seem to want to hear about and they enjoy when I recap them. So make sure you're subscribed for my next video. Thank you as always for being here, and I will see you guys in my next video.